do I need to pay zakat on the wealth that is held by my children or kept stored in a trust fund, for example? And this question is relevant for many of us in the West because some of us live in countries, for example, England, where the government once upon a time actually opened up trust funds on behalf of all newborn children and actually even contributed a sum of money to it. So even if you never had that kind of self-awareness of trying to save money on behalf of your kids and their future, in actual fact, sometimes the government has done it for you. But regardless of the source, whether they've received some money, whether the government's given them that money, whether they're saving it themselves. Normally, as you know, in the acts of worship, when you look at the conditions, you say that the person has to be baligh, has to be mukallaf, has to be someone who can be held accountable legally, someone who's mature, someone who's going to be Muslim, etc., etc. But zakat is one of those fascinating areas in which, according to the vast majority of scholars, indeed the Sahaba themselves, zakat is not one of those acts. And I firmly subscribe to this opinion that we do need to take the zakat that's owed from the assets that even our children own, even those who are not of mental capacity, those who suffer from mental illness or insanity, which is normally, aql is normally a condition that's required for any act of worship to be given. Now, Imam Abu Hanifa on the other side, very firmly in the minority, but a fascinating angle for him, of course. He's saying, no, we don't take money or zakat from children's savings, from the savings of the mentally incapacitated, because intention is a key condition of an act of worship, which of course is true. And you can only have an intention if you understand an intention. So obviously, if you don't understand the intention, whether you're a child or someone who doesn't understand what an intention is, how can you take the money from them? It can't be an act of worship. And that's very interesting when you think about it. Philosophically, it makes a lot of sense. Where the vast majority, though, where the other imams, the other madhahib and the companions were, is very simply put, that's a good point, but this is an exception to that good point. This is that act that doesn't require an intention for those particular groups. And that's because that money is what the key manat is. That wealth itself is where their illah is, not the person. And the haqq of the people who deserve zakat is to be applied to this actual wealth, not to the person that's giving it. So wherever the wealth is found, wherever it is, that's where it's taken from. That's what I subscribe to. Of course, there's a lot more detail to discuss in this, and that's going to be coming in our upcoming class on zakat, and I'll see you soon for that.